Now you should be able to hear me. All right, are we back? Are we back? You guys should be able to hear me now. I always forget I have a special software that handles the audio, and sometimes I go live and I totally forget that I don't have the audio on. All right, looks like we're back. Was able to fix it. Guys, I started off by saying shout out to Shane for becoming a member. Good to have you, Shane. Jared Johnson, Molly. Roger, good to see you, man. Good morning, Roger. Hope you're doing well. Tin2 out. Brian, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, good to hear everyone. I mean, good to see everyone. I'm glad you guys can hear now. Yeah, I have a separate thing that does the audio. So sometimes when I load up the live stream, I forget that doesn't automatically pull in. So I have to throw that over. Plush, good to see you. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you. Miguel, good to see you. So, guys, we finally got the news this morning that the acquisition is finally done. Ripple has fully bought standard custody. So that is certainly very interesting. And I can't wait to see where a PolySign falls in all of this, because we're still yet to see exactly what happens to PolySign with all of this. So, yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing we're waiting on. But we can take a look right here. Stop sharing screen, present, share screen. We've got the official announcement. Ripple is also excited to announce the appointment of Jack McDonald as Senior Vice President of Stablecoins, which means his current role as CEO of Standard, while he maintains his current role as CEO of Standard Custody. Well, over the past 3 decades, experience working with investment banks, asset managers, financial services, and more recently, fintechs and digital assets, Jack brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to help lead the stablecoin team and bring Ripple stablecoin to market. So very cool. He's kind of moving over. He's kind of moving over to the stablecoin side as well. But how exactly the PolySign stuff gets managed is going to be super interesting to see. And yeah, I'm waiting. Embrace the dips. I agree. One day we won't have any dips to embrace. So enjoy them while they last is my way to see it. Yeah, I don't know. There's something weird going on in the market right now. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but there seems to be a decent amount of fear behind Bitcoin, a lot of the other digital assets, but it kind of just comes back down to a larger formation we're kind of watching here, and that's Bitcoin attempting to break out the top. We were hoping Bitcoin would be able to break out right here, push to that new all-time high. Instead, it seemed like we had some volatility come in. Ultimately, I'm really not too worried about it. Sooner or later, Bitcoin is going to get the momentum to kind of break its way out of here. And we'll just be waiting for that to happen. The second that happens, Thanos says he doesn't embrace dips. Your thumbnail looked like a NASA live stream. Yeah, no, I didn't change it over. I think it should switch over to kind of what we're talking about now that the live stream is going. Let me see real quick if that's fixed itself, because I didn't feel like doing a thumbnail, and I assumed it would just kind of show what's on. Oh yeah, no, it's kind of All right, I'll have to fix that. I'll fix that real quick. Appreciate you pointing that out. I was hoping it would have changed already. Doing thumbnails on the live streams is so annoying because like I'm live and then I have to do the thumbnail. Like I'd prefer not having to go and do a thumbnail in the middle of live streaming, but I guess what can you do? YouTube wants to make my life as difficult as possible to get a freaking live stream out there. So, 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah, sound should be good. If you're having sound issues, make sure to check your own kind of sound situation. There might be some local things happening. Did have some issues with sound starting off, but that should be fixed now. Darren, good to see you. Everything's good here, man. Pretty tired from the Quantum Summit. Got to speak with a whole bunch of really, really cool people. It was a ton of fun, but going to conferences twice in a row definitely is kind of taking a bit of a toll on me. So I'm really excited to have a weekend of hopefully just getting to relax for a little bit coming up. because it's been nonstop work, man. It's been nonstop work, which I love, but a weekend of nothing, maybe a little golf is definitely in my future. All right, thumbnails fixed. Hey, Mickle, I'm confused. Why is there no price appreciation with XRP when you hear that XRP is being adopted by the UAE? That's a great question. That's a great question. So this is all speculation what I'm about to go into. So keep that in mind. I saw a post a while back from one of the Riddler accounts, and I think it actually made a lot of sense what they were saying. They were saying that, look, whenever Ripple, what we know from the Ripple SEC case is that Ripple essentially works with market makers to provide liquidity when liquidity is needed. Part of the Ripple SEC case was the fact that, hey, if Ripple makes an announcement that pumps the price of XRP, well, then that's going to be an issue with the SEC. Why? Because it makes it look like XRP is a security of Ripple. Now, what can Ripple do to prevent this? Well, if Ripple knows they're going to announce something big that's going to cause a ton of buying volume to come in and cause momentum to flow into XRP, they can just provide XRP liquidity to the market makers to make sure those market makers have enough XRP to sell when that announcement comes out. Now, would Ripple be doing this if the SEC didn't essentially charge them with the fact that they had some control over the market? No, I don't think so. I think the only reason Ripple really is doing this is because they sort of have to make sure XRP doesn't pump. So hopefully when the Ripple SEC case is over, they won't have to leverage things like this, and they won't be worried about announcements from Ripple, the company, influencing the price of XRP. So in my opinion, that's probably what it is. Also, 4 are in bed with institutions. They will FUD retail. Yeah, no, there's a lot of different people who do what they can to FUD retail, but look, ultimately, I don't think retail is the one really controlling the prices here, but it is important to realize that that is also happening. Sooner, good to see you, man, and happy to have you here, man. Happy to have you here and appreciate you being a member. So thank you for everything you do. Roger said that Jake Claver said it's important that amendments that are now coming up for vote, we will not see much price appreciation. Yeah, so Jake's a firm believer that a lot of the amendments we're seeing right now are critical to institutions stepping in a big way. So prior to seeing real volume come onto the chain, we obviously need things like decentralized identity. All of that makes sense to me. Now, in my opinion, if you take a look at the XRP price chart, we really have had some very high price appreciation prior to institutions just coming in. Really big, massive speculative pumps. You can take a look at what happened in 2021. We had a ton of volume. We had XRP up over 1,400%, and all of that just happened naturally. So, yep, I think Jake does have those numbers correct. Yeah, I think Jake does have those numbers correct. Fire, I need an LLC lawyer. Well, make sure to go check out Digital Wealth Partners, man. That's specifically what we look to do. Also, guys, I haven't said it yet today. Make sure if you're here right now, you drop a like on the stream. Super, super helpful. Really helps more people see the stream, get more people in here and everything like that. Let's try to get over 150 likes. That would be absolutely incredible. And then if you're over on X, make sure to give it a retweet. You met my friend Rob 007 this weekend in Florida. He said you were a very smart young man with a great future. USMC man. Yeah, Rob. You know, I'd never gotten to meet him prior to this, but he was one of my favorite people I met there. He's absolutely incredible. What a well-spoken guy. He's such a great personality, so genuine. I had so much fun hanging out with Rob, and I've always kind of watched his channel a bit before when his with his XRP videos in the car, and it was just getting to know him in person, man. It really opened my eye to like kind of looking at him in a whole new light. Just such a funny, genuine guy. I had so much fun getting to meet him. So if you're not following him, I highly suggest you check him out because he's producing some really, really good content. And it was really cool how appreciative he was of me and my videos. It's always cool to get those kind of compliments from another content creator. So it was a lot of fun down there. And Rob was one of the best guys I met there. It was super, super cool. Colin, good to see you, man. Yeah, I got to play some golf this weekend, Colin. I haven't been playing enough golf recently. It's fallen off a little bit with the new job and all the work I've been doing, but it's very rewarding what we're getting to do. Yeah, market's dumping. I wonder what's happening with the dollar right now. I wonder what's happening with the dollar. Let's take a look at that. I guarantee you the dollar's up big. I wonder if this is... Yeah, I can't do that. All right, hold on. Sorry about this. I guarantee you the dollar's pumping. I don't know why we're kind of getting this negative data right now. Maybe people are concerned about the inflation numbers. Personally, I would rather sell off into inflation numbers than be pumping hard. And that's just because it's going to make it easier to beat the expectations in the market. So we'll see exactly what ends up happening there. I'm going to have to flip over to TradingView to take a look at this. And we'll zoom in real quick. Yeah, so the dollar does have some momentum behind it. And that's kind of what we predicted going in here. Let's take a look at a shorter time frame. Selling off a bit now, actually. It looked like it pumped earlier in the day, had a big run, and now coming down a little bit. So, looks like the dollar is having some level of strength, but maybe not as strong as I was expecting to see. Regardless, though, the dollar is still up pretty big on the week, so there's no doubt in my mind that this is having some kind of influence. Market is painful. Yeah, the market's painful until it's not. And like, you know, whenever people start to feel pain in the market, as much as like I feel bad and like I know people like it's hard to have the pain in the market, it's always a little exciting to me because it always means like we're really close to ultimately that pain being over with and kind of coming to the other side of it. And it seems like we've kind of been stuck in this like sideways, boring, nothing market for a while now. So it just makes me all the more confident that we're probably closer to the other side of it than the staying sort of in the middle of it, I guess you could say. You know, it's kind of like the news, right? I always say on the channel, like the best part about a boring news week is you're right around the corner from a very exciting news week. So we've been in a boring trading range for a while. I think we're probably close to something pretty exciting happening. Ultimately, this looks like the worst arrow ever right now, but this is what we're watching on the dollar. It's going to be really exciting to see how ultimately things play out here. I think it doesn't take a genius to know that we've really been debasing the dollar very, 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 very aggressively recently. So I think it's going to come down. That's funny. That's funny. David says, when car live stream for the good old time's sake. I'll do a car live stream at some point. Probably when I need to, right? When I'm on the road. So I'll definitely be on the road at some point in the near future and have to shoot up a live stream. So we'll get another live in the car going at some point. But it is very nice being able to sit at my desk rather than a hot car. So what do you think Ripple will announce? Do you think Ripple will announce anything big at Apex? I know they're certainly going to announce the stablecoin, and there's going to be some big things there, but we'll just have to wait and see. Brian says only 66 likes. Guys, make sure to drop that like on the stream. Look, people tell me all the time that they started watching my channel from just a random push notification from the live stream. So the more likes on the stream we get, the more people we can get in this community, which is ultimately our goal. That's so funny. I totally didn't realize people like love the car live stream so much. I'll love to get them going. Like right now, my problem is like, do I really just walk out to my driveway and sit in my car for a live stream? Maybe we'll try it out sometime, right? It'd be kind of funny, but maybe tomorrow we'll get that going. Ed, good to see you, man. Always great to have you here. Lucky says we want to see you suffering in the hot car. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be suffering in the hot car. That's the problem, Lucky. That's funny though. That's funny. Let's see what else we got. Did you see the video about BRICS using BRICS to USD conversion rate, $55 to one BRICS currency? Interesting. No, I didn't see anything about that. I'll have to check that out. Let me check the news quick. Oh, there you go. Amanda says create a car virtual background. That would be funny. Go out of my way to make a new background that looks like I'm in a car, even though I'm not in a car. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'll probably just go out to the car if people like it. So, what the people want, right? Just scrolling through the news real quick, seeing if anything fascinating comes out. Um, Apple and Ripple do not have a partnership for Tap Cash, but Ripple was working with Apple in incorporating them into Interledger a couple years back. So I think a lot of people are speculating that that partnership is going to show back up when ultimately this case is over and Apple can work with a player like Ripple without the regulatory scrutiny. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know if there's an explicit known partnership in place on Tap Cash, but it seems like there is some interest in ultimately them leveraging the Interledger protocol, which will tie back to XRP. See what else we got. News is a little dry. I hope something gets launched at Apex that we can jump into, just because it's really been slow. It's really been slow recently. Not anything overly exciting dropping. But you know, like I said, one of my favorite parts about slow times is it means there's something crazy right around the corner. Reggie, I appreciate you tweeting out the live stream, man. That's really, really helpful. Really helpful. So thank you for doing that. Can we please use the XRP community to pressure Apple into manufacturing the 1 to 2 terabyte iPod, please? Do you mean like the old handheld ones? If it gets too hot in your car, you can take a dip in David Schwartz's deep pools of liquidity. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at XP Market. Let's take a look at the automated market maker. These are getting some big traction recently. The automated market makers were really filling up. So let's take a look at that. Wow, Magnetic Pool's got 2.1 million XRP in it. Wow, that's crazy. Look at that. That's incredible. Wow, 2.1 million XRP, 1.1 on Solo. And then Bitstamp has got close to 2 million, which is now owned by Robinhood. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. Ultimately, Robinhood is now essentially contributing to automated market maker liquidity. So very, very interesting there. Wow, awesome. Wow, that's so cool, Mary Cox. She says, "Hi, Mikkel, I'm on a boat in Croatia listening to your live while getting ready for dinner." Well, that sounds absolutely incredible, Mary, and I hope you have a great time. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow. You have me very jealous right now, I'm not going to lie. So I hope you have a great trip. I hope you have a great dinner, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Magnetic is looking really good. I wonder if we're gonna get a price on the get a quick look at the price of Magnetic as well right now. I think the best place to look at that is the DEX. Looks like Magnetic's kind of really getting some traction, which is cool. I was on their platform a couple times, and everything on their platform seems really cool. Let's see. I want a max price start. Okay, so the price is still performing really well. Wow, from December 12th, this thing has had some really good price performance, man. From $7 to 1,000. Incredible, incredible, incredible stuff. And I would assume the market cap is still pretty small. So wild stuff there. And good for them. Good for them. J&K Money, good to see you. Brian says, let's get to 150 likes for sure. Adam says, John Deaton for Senate. Yes, we want to shout that out on every single live stream, so appreciate you mentioning that. Mikkel, are you thinking more in line with the characters like Egret and Dark Defender with regards to XRP? Or do you think Jake Claver, where XRP won't hit an all-time high? Sorry, Tank 20. Let me try to read this through. Mikkel, is you're thinking more in line with characters like Egran and Dark Defender with regards to XRP, or do you think more like Jake Claver does, where XRP won't hit an all-time high or go to 3 digits? Ultimately, I think we're just waiting for a big surge in liquidity on XRP, and XRP is going to fly past all-time highs. I don't know what needs to happen first, the Ripple SEC case ending or something like that. But ultimately, I'm very confident that XRP is undervalued in the market. And if Bitcoin continues to make its new all-time high, XRP will follow soon behind. It always has throughout every cycle. So I just feel like XRP is poised to really follow the rest of the market in a lagging way, but then catch up in an exponential fashion. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't necessarily have any specific price target on XRP, and I've talked about why that's the case before on the channel. I think most price targets just end up being wrong. I think XRP makes a new all-time high ultimately, and I think it becomes one of the top performers, but a surprising top performer where everyone's like, it's not moving, it's not moving, it's not moving, and then suddenly it moves massively. It looks like we have over 6 million XRP now locked in the pools, which is cool. Steve Trustwell, hey Mikkel, for your Canadian members, Jake mentioned using Aaron. Oh, awesome. So that's great. Yeah, no, Jake really has assembled some of the best people in the space in terms of professionals who can work with you to help get you to a point where you have much more professional tools at your hands. So Harbinger says, read the white paper. I will. I need to. I've just been so busy. Canadian members. Yeah, so that's great. I'm glad you had a great experience setting up that corporate account. Yeah, we work with people to make LLCs, trusts, anything you're going to need ultimately to help be more tax efficient. And guys, let me just give you an idea of why you might be wanting to focus on a trust or an LLC or something like that. If you hold your digital assets in an LLC, one, you move risk away from yourself. So if you were to get rear-ended and someone's to try to go after your assets, right? Those assets are business's assets, not necessarily yours. But on top of that, you can also do write-offs against those assets. So say you take $25,000 in XRP profit. Well, you can write off different things in your life against that LLC or that holding company. So, right, your car, any crypto services, any fees you incur on exchanges, all of these different things, right, are now write-offs. So you can actually mitigate taxes against your gains. So it's really important to understand there is a reason why very rich people use corporate accounts, trusts, LLCs, and stuff like that. And I'm glad you had a great experience, man. Steve, we're looking to really only send you guys to people who are going to give you great experiences. So that makes me happy to hear. Aether448, glad to have you as a member. Awesome. Great to have you. And also, Tracy, good to see you. Guys, make sure you're smashing that like button. Super, super helpful. Loafer Punk, good to see you. Yeah, it's crazy, Brian. It's crazy. We'll have to see what happens at the end of all of this. I have a feeling all of the activity that people are waiting for to move the market is just going to hit the market in like one fast, crazy fashion. I want to take a look at Magnetic. Magnetic is really perking my interest recently. And I haven't gotten to do like a lot of research actually on what they're doing. Let's take a look at the DEX. I like their DEX a lot. It's clean. It's really clean. The Magnetic token at $2,000 is wild. They still have these pools going where you can actually get Magnetic against XRP is giving you a 71% yield. I mean, that's incredible. We'll see how sustainable a lot of this stuff is, but in the meantime, this is still very, very cool. Let's see what else I got here. Farming, we were just on that. Bounty hunt, haven't seen this yet. Okay, cool. So these are just different incentives to use a platform. Bridge. Okay, cool. It looks like they have a bridge to the Zhao network. Wow, this is really cool. This is really cool. It's good for them. Looks like they're building out fast and more projects on the XRP ledger. Very, very good. It looks like they don't have the team doxed yet, which, as I talked about earlier, is something that I hope they do in the near future. But, you know, it's not necessarily something that I believe I'm going to hold against their project. It's not easy to dox when you're kind of on the leading edge of some of this stuff. Okay, so rewards are from locked up mag tokens. Cool. Question, I don't get why there are other applications for Ethereum and Solana, but not for XRP when it has our clarity. Well, Tracy, what we're looking at right now is an application for XRP. So there's a lot of applications coming to the XRP ledger right now, and I think you're going to see an explosion in the near future. So to me, it looks like there's a lot of new things coming to the XRP ledger, and there actually are a lot of applications. For a long time, it was just hard to build applications because there wasn't a lot of tooling to do that. So I think we're going to watch that change in a really big way. Oh, thank you so much, Roger. Roger said, I had the pleasure of meeting Mikkel this weekend and spending some time with him. He's a great guy, but way beyond that, in person, high integrity individual. Thank you so much, Roger. Really appreciate that. And I had so much fun getting to meet you. You, Stan, and a lot of other people. Rob 007. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't really know what to expect going into the conference, but it blew away my expectations. So in Germany, there's an ETC for XRP called GXRP. I thought this was kind of fascinating. I saw it this morning. Did I buy any XRP domains? No, flavor.com. I thought about it, and there's no real reason why I didn't. It's really just because, guys, I've been so busy. Like even things like magnetic, like as much as I would have loved to dive into that and take a closer look at it, I just don't have time to be an expert in all of this stuff. So that's why I like covering on the channel, just to bring it to your guys' attention. So if you guys see anything there that you want to get started with, you can. But sorry, I just haven't had the time to really jump into it like I wish I could. Cool. So this is from Apex right now. Apex is just starting, so this is cool. Would have loved to have been able to go over to Apex. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go over there, but it seems like that's going to be a ton of fun. Oh, here's a fun question. TK said, do you think the escrow is pre-allocated to many of the 1,700 contracts? I believe so. I believe so. It's always been a thought I've had, so we'll have to see how that plays out, but I do believe the escrow is in one way or another pre-allocated. Oh, it was so much fun getting to talk to everyone in Vegas. So much fun. And yeah, no, I specifically getting to meet you, Harbinger. There were so many great people I met in Vegas, and it was just so nice getting to shake people's hands. Apex is the first time Brad and David are on the same stage together? Maybe. Roger says, Harbinger, if you're going to trust your assets with anyone, Mikkel and Jake and DWP is the way to go. Thank you so much. And I just want to make it clear to everyone, Roger, not that you got this wrong at all, but this is an important point to harp on. Guys, when you come over to Digital Wealth Partners, you're not trusting your assets with me and Jake, really, right? Like me and Jake are going to help facilitate the connection to ultimately get your assets in institutional grade custody done by Ripple. So they're always going to be your assets. They're always going to be under your name. You're always going to have the private key. What we're doing is just giving you a better custody solution. So some people use custody right now in terms of a hot wallet. Some people use a cold wallet. We're just making your custody solution institutional grade custody. So they're always going to be your assets. Me and Jake will never have control over any of those things. We will never be able to move assets without your will. We will never be able to take control of the assets. We will never be able to lose your assets, right? They're always going to be your assets. So really appreciate the comment, Roger, because I think it's something that's important to harp on, right? Me and Jake are not holding your assets. It's not our custody solution. We're just looking to facilitate your accounts to be able to get set up as Ripple, and even at Ripple, right? Ripple's just providing the custody there, but ultimately it's still your assets. The name is on your account. So just keep that in mind. I heard Bank of America is closing accounts out all over. Is this bad for Ripple? No, I mean Ripple's the disruptor, right? Ripple's just helping these people not fall into the Stone Age. So I don't think it's really too much of an impact. USMCPD, you seem more tired now than when you had your robotics job. I actually think it's just because typically before I live stream now is when I eat lunch, and I think that just makes me tired. I used to do the opposite. I used to live stream and then eat lunch. So I actually don't think it's too much of anything other than just me having a little bit of a different order to my day. But I actually have more energy than you'd expect right now. I think it's my body just digesting and getting over a pretty big meal. So don't you worry, man. I'm doing well, and I'm more happy than ever with the current job situation. Yeah, no, tons of people flowing in. Stream is heating up, Harbinger. Appreciate that. Make sure to keep smashing that like button. So I'll show you guys how to sign up for digital wealth partners. So I'll share my screen here, right? So all you're going to do here is obviously go to digital wealth partners. Here's the website. It will take you to, and then you want to book a consultation. Upper right hand corner, and then you just fill out this form. Once you fill out this form, you will get an email with the booking information, as well as some information from me on any questions you have prior to getting going. But ultimately, it should be pretty easy once you get to the website to navigate exactly where you have to go and how to ultimately get that initial consultation booked. In that initial consultation, we'll go over everything you need to know. Let's see what else we got. We'll go over everything you need to know. No, unfortunately, the consultation is not free. There's different minimums on the consultation. But no, as much as I would love for the consultation to be free, it just simply can't be, because we are already trying to slow down demand. We have such a big backlog for the consultations already. We just have to charge for it. If it wasn't charged for, I'd be booked out for the entire year already. So we unfortunately do have to charge for the consultation. But ultimately, once you get onboarded, right, the fees are extremely, extremely minimal, and one of the best fee structures you'll see in the space by far. I'm sorry, what is this for? New to this? This is for Digital Wealth Partners. It's the firm I'm now a part in. What it is it's essentially a wealth advisor for cryptocurrency. So for high net worth people, over 100,000 in digital assets, you could come under us. What we're going to do is provide you institutional grade custody with insurance, tax advantage structures, as well as advisory to use your XRP. So all of these things are going to be done to essentially make it so that you can be provided with a professional grade cryptocurrency experience. TK, do you think BRICS will use an agnostic crypto for cross-border payments between them, potentially XRP. Yeah, TK, ultimately, that's my thesis, right? That's my thesis. I ultimately believe that BRICS is not going to be able to create some kind of cohesive currency that mixes all their different nations together, and they're ultimately going to be forced to utilize a decentralized asset like XRP. Now, is BRIC going to use XRP for every single transaction? No, probably not, but there's definitely going to be applications where it makes the most sense, and I really believe it's going to be used to link the BRICS nations to other nations that don't have trust for those nations. So the more we break up the financial system and the more we have separate players all looking to promote their own incentives, the more you need a neutral asset in the middle of it to bring all the liquidity together. Yeah, I just think that's where the world's headed. No, I don't think the U.S. will end up joining BRICS. I think BRICS was literally created to get away from the United States, so I don't see the United States joining. How to sell my crypto with you, OTC? Yeah, no, we sell via OTC. So our institutional grade custodian, which is Ripple, we also have En-ROADS to essentially OTC exchanges as well. So we can easily sell your crypto from custody if that's something you want to do. The thing we're more excited about is using your crypto to produce income over the long run. So being able to take loans against your crypto and do stuff like that, be able to provide you passive income. That's the overall goal of everything we do at Digital Wealth Partners, to be able to provide you income for life based on your holdings. And I want to say this real quick, right? Just so people understand, we're not going to be running to get the first yield generating we're not going to run to get the first piece of yield generation possible, right? So if there's a new pool that shows up with like 150% APY in the XRP ledger, we're not going to be sprinting necessarily to that. And why not? We want to make sure we're providing people with sustainable and safe yield rather than just running to the first person that's able to offer yield. So look, this is more of a long game for us. We're under the impression that most of our clients are going to be very high net worth clients in the future, and we're not going to have to be tracing or chasing unrealistic yield opportunities. So we're really looking to get the best yield possible, things that are long-term, things that are sustainable, and things that you're going to be able to live your life on. Watch Jungle Inc. today. Old Chris Larson clip. Do you agree with Jungle? I'm assuming that Ripple has been going in some wrong direction a few years. What was the wrong direction? If you could highlight on what he believes the wrong direction was, I would love to comment on it. It's just hard to know without knowing like what he's saying is the wrong direction. I mean, I always have thought that Ripple is going in the right direction. So I would have to see exactly what he said Ripple was going on the wrong direction for. And I'm just scrolling through right now to see if anything interesting pops up. The middlemen for what, Jim? Brian, good to see you. The market's been slow. The market's been slow. So, you haven't really missed much. We're just kind of going through the news, answering questions, doing a little bit of Q&A. Ripple's acquisition of Standard Custody did go through, so that's exciting. As well as we have Apex going on right now, which is also exciting. But I can't say there's anything like really crazy at the moment, right? We have a little bit of a boring sell-off, trading sideways. Apex is going on. Obviously, the acquisition of Standard Custody is good news, but nothing overly crazy at the moment. But I always say, despite the fact that these are kind of boring times, you're like, oh man, when is something going to happen? Typically, these are the times right before something big. So I'm just looking to push through kind of the rest of this dry spell, and hopefully we come out the other side with some very, very fun and exciting stuff, which is normally always how it goes. Frank says he didn't really say, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, you know, a lot of people have complaints about Ripple, but they don't never actually like pick anything specific to complain about. Look, a lot of people just want the price of XRP to go up, and until XRP goes up in price, they're going to complain about Ripple, and then the second XRP goes up in price, suddenly they're not going to complain about Ripple anymore, and Ripple's going to be doing a great job. But Ripple's strategy might not change in all of that, right? People's emotions just change what they think about Ripple. So me personally, I'm under the understanding that Ripple is not a retail facing company. Ripple is an institutional facing company, and Ripple is not focused on the short-term price of XRP. Ripple's focused on the long game for what XRP can ultimately become. They understand that's really going to drive XRP's price over the longer time period, and therefore in making announcements to pump XRP in the short term, that's just not the game they're playing. So I don't value or I don't judge Ripple's success based on the price of XRP. Everyone is so focused on price. Ripple may not be perfect, but look at the board where the employees are coming from. I'm willing to be patient and trust them. Yeah, Roger, I agree. Right? There's a reason why these high-level people are coming to Ripple, right? And it's for one reason and one reason only, because they're building really big things behind the scenes. So, very important. Will you guys take other crypto to get to 100K like XLM, HBAR, and XLM, XDC, and HBAR? Yes, you can combine across different assets. You can combine across different assets. What's the minimum digital assets we must qualify for DWP services, and the client needs to be an accredited investor, right? You don't need to be an accredited investor. No, you don't have to be an accredited investor. You just need to have more than 100K in digital assets. The people who are going to benefit most, not the people who are going to benefit most, but if you have over 500K in digital assets, then you're like an ultra priority. You get free consultation. You get the best advantage on fees and all of that. So over 100K, we can work with you and bring you on. Over 500K, you're really like a high priority client, and you're going to be kind of accelerated through the entire process. And it can be across multiple different assets. So it's really just to make sure that our infrastructure providers are able to take on that account size. I think owning the stock is way better. I prefer XRP, but everyone teach their own. See what else we got. How does the acquisition of standard custody affect shares of PolySign? I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. That's been something that's been hot on people's minds, and I understand why. But I will say this real quick, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. I totally feel bad if ultimately it turns out negative for PolySign holders. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm not a holder in PolySign, and I'm not privy to any information there. But a lot of people are like mad at Ripple and mad at PolySign for essentially this happening. But like this is why retail is like not allowed in private markets, just because private markets are high risk, and people know retail would like complain and say things were unfair if something happened. So I think it's important, like, look, part of the risk of getting involved in private markets is like you have to deal with this side of retail. So not like don't be upset or don't be annoyed, but understand like this is just private markets. So if it's a lesson that some people need to learn, that private markets are risky and volatile, well, that just might be a lesson that has to be learned. But ultimately, we'll see what happens. I hope for the best. I hope PolySign ends up being made whole to some degree, but it's nothing more than my guess and speculation. Can you give a potential range of Ripple stock price when they IPO? So TK, that's really hard because I don't know when Ripple's going to IPO. If Ripple IPO today, I would assume. If Ripple IPO today, I would assume Ripple would IPO at a market cap, maybe between 30 and 50 billion dollars, probably close to Coinbase's market cap. But over the long run, I think if Ripple is to IPO in 2 to 3 years, it could be in the hundreds of billions of dollars of market cap. So just depends on where we sit. Lunatic says nap time. No, I don't even need a nap. It's just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just need to get some more energy in me somehow. Elon Musk said that one day soon, one of the biggest tech giants or combo of them, Apple, Microsoft, will buy Ripple Labs. I don't think Elon Musk said that, but if you could provide me with some information, I'd love to see it. Can you take appointments / work with individuals who have retirement accounts that don't own any crypto in order to build a digital asset portfolio that will have over 100 live? We can definitely work to do that. We can definitely work to do that. Um, if that is something you're interested in, we can definitely make that happen. So, yes, yes, yes. If your plan is to build up a portfolio to that 100K level, we can definitely facilitate that and make that work. So you might have to sign some kind of a commitment that you will get to that 100K level in a reasonable amount of time. I'm sure we could work all that out. We have yet to do that for someone yet, but I don't see why that would be a problem. So my answer to that is yes. And I would just reach out. And when you fill out the description for Digital Wealth Partners, you just make that clear. And then I'll get that over to our CEO and our CIO and make sure that flies. But I think that would certainly work. Even if they're on two different platforms, that equals over 100K. Yeah, you just need 100K digital assets total that we could bring into custody. And that's not really us making that call, right? That's lack of oxygen. That's probably why, because I can't breathe. That's probably why, because I can't breathe. I have a deviated septum and my nose is so messed up. So you're so right. I need to get something that holds my nose open so I can breathe. And I'll maybe I'll start yawning, but that's actually right. I'm gonna order that right after this. I need something to fix that. So I saw these things. It's like a magnetic bridge that goes on your nose, and it like holds your nose open. That's totally what I need. Unless anyone has any kind of solution who's dealt with that. Like I have a deviated septum and I like can't breathe. They're a game changer? Okay, cool. I need them. I like can't breathe. And like I'm like lacking oxygen for sure. So appreciate that. Yeah, ultimately I'll probably need nose surgery, but I'm trying to push that off. Go for a run. I work out every morning. That's not the issue. The issue is I have a deviated septum, so I have to literally go like this to breathe. Sorry, I'm missing XRP Twan. Did they ask a oh, I'm scared to take a chance with anyone with my crypto. So XRP Twan, it's important to realize like it's not us that are holding your crypto. It's gonna be your crypto under your name at Ripple the company. So when no one takes control of your crypto, really, you're just getting a better version of a ledger, right? And it has insurance on it. But I totally understand the fear. I think when you look into it, like here, I'll ask you this question, XRP Twan. Who, like, I don't know what you use for custody right now, but who do you trust more, Ripple or Ledger? Like, you're still trusting Ledger. Like, I hate to say this, and I don't want to scare people, but like, um, breathe right strips. Okay, Brian, thank you. So you're still trusting someone with your Ledger. Like, Ledger messes up their security or a malware gets pushed to the device, and like your Ledger's effed. So like you're always trusting someone. So exactly, Crypto Clay. Who would you rather trust, Ledger or Medico or Ripple, right? Medico just has better solutions there. So I want people to understand, right? Like you're always trusting someone. I'm on Arculus Wallet. Okay, well I would certainly trust Medico and Ripple more than Arculus Wallet. So look, I don't want to make you fearful at all, XRP Twan, but just understand, right? You're always trusting someone. Like you're trusting Arculus. Um, who would you rather trust? Like the players that BlackRock trust or the players that a bunch of small retail folks trust? You're always going to be trusting someone. So don't want to freak anyone out, right? Like that's not our goal at all. We just want to make things as easy as possible. I trust Uphold more than I trust Ledger too. Look, Ledger sketches me out a bit. Like, don't want to scare anyone else here, but like, look, there's better solutions out there than what we've been told are the best solutions. So I'll leave it at that, right? Like, I never really talk about the fears I have with self custody and some of the other solutions out there, just because I don't want people to join the firm out of fear of the market, right? I want people to join the firm because ultimately they understand that being able to be put in tax advantage structures to manage your crypto and to get insurance on your crypto and have multi-sig, those are all going to be beneficial things to you over the long run. But look, I don't necessarily think right that these things are necessarily good ways to sell product. Ledger is great, never had an issue. Mark, Ledger 100% is great. I question, right? Look, there's a reason why David Schwartz, when he was asked specifically where's the best place to hold crypto, he said you need multi-sig, right? Like, Ledger doesn't have multi-sig. So Ledger is a great product. I just think over the long term, right? Yes, Kawaii Girl, like insurance, right? Things like insurance are going to be critical. Things like multi-sig custody. Things like having beneficiaries. So if you were to, God forbid, ever pass, you don't have to have some cryptic note where someone's going to look under your bed and someone who doesn't know how to deal with crypto is going to have to transfer these things, right? These are all things that are going to be brought to the crypto world. And ultimately, things like Ledger are always going to be a very good product for hobbyists, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be making sense to hold hundreds of millions of dollars on a Ledger. Ron King says Ledger got hacked and now somebody knows what you hold crypto. Yeah, no, Ledger did get hacked and now your address is out there with the fact that you hold a Ledger. So that is an issue. Ledger is great, but so is having insurance and being able to easily stake. Also, guys, so is like having the ability to like not have to get your Ledger to do any transactions, right? Like the ability to like not have to carry your Ledger around with you. I mean, that's also big, right? So, and what's the best way to hide my crypto? Define hide your crypto. I keep mine with my dirty underwear. The last place they would look. Well, yeah, maybe even if they know about it too, they might not want to look there. So maybe you could have hundreds of millions of dollars there, and they'll just choose, hey, I don't want to look through IJV's dirty underwear, so we'll just go find someone else. Not a bad strategy there. That reminds me of a Will Ferrell skit. He's like, if I ever went to prison, he was like, I just cover myself in my own poop, and the guy was like, what the heck? Like, why would you ever do that? And they're like, no one's ever gonna want to pick on the guy covered in poop. And it's kind of a similar idea of hiding your Ledger in the dirty underwear drawer, right? Like even if like they think it might be in there, like do they even really want to go in there? So that's kind of funny. Um, how do you transfer from Ledger to Medico? We do test transaction, but ultimately it's just like sending crypto anywhere. So we'll provide you with an address. We'll get that crypto over there and we'll do test transactions to make sure nothing bad happens. Ultimately, it's kind of cool. We're going to be able to simulate real transactions on the XRP ledger soon because of a new amendment. So that's going to be really exciting. But ultimately, it's a pretty standard process and nothing that anyone shouldn't be able to handle. Yes, Ripple is right on the mark moving to custody. It's really important for the future of blockchain technology. I completely agree. And look, the reason why Ripple is getting into it is to provide institutions custody for very large accounts. We're just looking to apply these things to retail as well because we don't think retail should be left out. Yeah, just doing a final run through the news here. If anyone has any final questions, make sure to drop them. Uh, Still not seeing anything overly massive. Yeah, I know a lot of people scared of Ledger now. Look, I don't think Ledger is. Hold on. Yeah, multi-sig is definitely the safest option, Harbinger. David Schwartz has said that himself. He believes multi-sig is the safest option. So look, that's what we're trying to provide to retail, right? That's what we're trying to provide to retail, multi-signature custody. That's going to be done through Medico. So look, I just think that's the smartest way to go about it. So I'm stressed enough waiting on my XRP. Now I have to, now when I plug in my ledger, someone's going to steal DRM. I wouldn't be overly stressed about it, man. But I think over the long run, like, I think there's going to be real advantages to just letting a professional institution handle your custody rather than you doing it yourself. But to each their own. Oh, Roger, this is perfect. Roger says met a person in Cape Canaveral and they said her kids have no idea how to access her ledger and they have no interest in it. Having it in custody enables the transfer if something happens. So that's another great example, right? If something was ever to happen to you and say you needed someone else to execute on your custody, being able to have that custody solution with an institutional provider will allow us to go through the legal documents in a fast and efficient manner to get one of your kids as a trustee, to get one of your kids as a beneficiary of the account, and then allow us to interact with them in order to make those transfers happen. So it's just financializing a lot of these things and building them out in a way where it's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a lot easier for the everyday person. How bad is Ledger? I don't think Ledger's bad. It's just like, guys, Ledger is a $50 product that you buy as a hobbyist, right? It's something completely different that like BlackRock's not good. You think BlackRock's going to be issuing their money market funds via a Ledger? No, of course not, right? There's a reason. There's a reason. There's steps, right? Ledger is the top self-custody wallet. I agree, Mark Harris. I agree. I agree. It's like this, right? It's like this, right? It's like you get it's like you get a $15,000 car. Is there anything wrong with that $15,000 car? Absolutely not. It gets you from point A to point B in a fast and efficient manner, right? But if you got a $45,000 to $70,000 car, right? There's many cases where it's going to last you a lot longer, it's going to be safer, it's going to have a lot of premium features. Now, depending on where you sit in the amount of money you have, both options can be a great option. But what a lot of our clients want, right, is they want insurance on the accounts, right? They want to not have to worry about a seed phrase. They don't want to worry about having a flash drive under their bed that makes them susceptible to a break-in or a robbery. They don't want, if there's malware on their computer, the possibility that that malware could infect their ledger, right? All of these things are possible. Now, with institutional grade custody, these things are greatly diminished, if not completely gone. So we're just trying to offer the next step up for people who want it, right? It's not to say, right? It's not to say that these things are necessarily bad. It's just that some people want a premium product that makes them feel safer, and in my opinion, is safer. Yes, we'll be able to buy directly for you, Ed. Yes. We'll be able to buy. Buy and add to positions is certainly possible. Nope, your grandma is not using Ledger. Caleb and Brown custody. No, we don't use Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown doesn't really do custody. Caleb and Brown is a brokerage. They do have custody solutions, but we use Ripple for custody. We'll use Ripple and Medico. So Ripple now owns Medico, but we use Medico for custody. Just go to Digital Wealth Partners. Now, let me say you need more than 100K in digital assets to get custody set up. So, yes, this exactly, right? Use a decent wallet or a ledger until your assets depreciate over 100K, and then I think that's when it's time. Look, I think a lot of people, right? I think a lot of people will look at their ledger very differently when it has $10 million on it, right? Like, are you really going to hold $10 million on a ledger? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling once these assets go to those high numbers and you have $10 million on a ledger, people are going to say, okay, I need some institutional grade products here because I need insurance on this. I need to make sure that I have the best professionals in the world working on my custody solution. I need multi signature so that no one can withdraw all this money at once. You know, I need these premium products, but we'll see. I asked a couple weeks ago, what are your thoughts on Songbird? Hope it's good. I bought a bunch right there with Flare. I like it. I like it a lot, but ultimately, oh, awesome. I'm glad that I like Flare more than Songbird, but I like Songbird too. Oh yeah, the fees are extremely reasonable. So we got it down to, I think it's, uh, I think it's three basis points. Um, so it's just a fraction of what you have. So let me just say this real quick. Our goal is to be able to put you in a tax structure that is going to save you so much money on your digital asset holdings. Your custody and any other wealth advisory fees are going to be completely free. So most people here are just holding their assets in a personal name. We look to provide you enough savings through your tax structure to essentially allow you to do custody and do the advisory part almost completely free. So think about it that way. Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much and helping explain some of this. And look, for a lot of people, right? Like, look, we're not going to be the perfect solution for everyone, right? Like, if you find yourself being someone who's very into like playing with a lot of these different protocols and being more of like a developer and being more like on the front lines of figuring some of the new stuff out, right? Then like a wealth manager isn't necessarily going to be the best thing for you. Now, maybe if you use 90%, if you use 10% of your crypto assets for experimenting on different wallets and doing all these new innovative things, right? Maybe 10% of your wealth does that, and the rest of the 90% is held in a more institutional account, really focused on high quality yield and really focused on preserving the value. So it's so important to understand we're not looking to be a solution for everyone, and we understand that. There's going to be a lot of people who are perfectly fine just doing things on their own their entire life, and they might just not have enough value in the cryptocurrency market to justify working with us. We in no way want to be a solution for every single person out there. What we're really looking to do is bring products to high net worth clients who absolutely need more sureties in this industry, right? Need insurance on their accounts, need to get away from using a ledger. And if you don't have the desire or need to get away from using a ledger, you don't want someone to help walk you through some of these decisions, you think you can handle it all on your own. We're not here to say you can't do that, right? We're just here to say, like, look, we have a different client base. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you were able to learn a lot. That's incredible. Nope, Zamon's great. And guys, like I said, right? Like I said, every solution out there is always going to have its pros and cons. And look, we're just looking to present a new solution for people who need it. And You shouldn't have to convince yourself you need some of this stuff. Like, I have clients who came running up to me and said, I cannot wait to get out of custodying with a ledger. I cannot wait to get out of cold storage. They say, I worry every single day having this thing on my own person, having to carry around this little flash drive, send payments back and forth to these different exchanges. Like, some people are just over it, right? Some people are just over it. And if you're not one of those people, that's perfectly fine, right? Like, do what works best for you. We're just providing a solution out there for people who are so over some of this hobbyist style solutions, right? So to each their own, right? We can't work with everyone as much as we wish we probably could. There's no way we're going to be able to. So we're not going to try to build out things that like are go against some of the things we're doing right now, right? Some people just aren't going to be a good fit, and that's perfectly fine, right? Not every single person has to use every single product. I can still set up the LLC even though I'm less than 100K right now, right? Yes, you can set up the LLC. So this is what we always tell people. Even if it's just setting up the LLC and getting started, that is still going to be massively beneficial to you, right? That's still going to be massively beneficial to you. Just getting your crypto assets in an LLC and being able to write off expenses is going to be very beneficial to you. And let me just give you a quick example, Birdbrain. Let me just give you a quick example of why having an LLC is going to be so important. Well, what you're going to be able to do, right, is say you went to XRP Vegas, right? I got to meet you there. Well, in an LLC, you'd be able to write off XRP Vegas, that entire trip you went on, against any profits you had in the digital asset space that year. So say you sell $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 worth of crypto. Well, you can actually then limit your tax bill by actually writing off things like XRP Vegas, things like writing off your car, right? Writing off all these different assets to make sure that you are as tax efficient as possible in the digital asset space. So it goes so much deeper than that. We have some of the smartest crypto focused CPAs out there, but there's things that you can get going in the meantime to really, really, really help your ultimate ultimately reach your goals in this space. Crypto Clay, man, you guys are so funny. Like, sometimes I'm just sitting there like going through like a spiel about DWP and I just read the chat and I'm like laughing, but I have to get through the rest of my little spiel. And don't think I'm like thinking like, oh no, they're not like, no, I love it. I love it. I love it. So keep doing your thing. It's just funny, man. You guys have me like cracking up half the time. Awesome, guys. Well, I'm sorry things have been a little slow recently. There hasn't been a ton of news to be able to jump into and cover, but really appreciate you guys coming today. It's been a ton of fun. And it's also cool to see the interest in DWP and how excited a lot of you are. As we ramp up, right, things are only going to get more exciting. We're working each and every day to make this the best product possible. So it's cool that even on slow days, we can talk about stuff like this and really just get people excited for what we're building and what could be right around the corner. I'll do one more quick look through the news to make sure we don't miss anything. But it looks like we covered most of it. Awesome. Yep, it looks like we're pretty much good. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. Bo, we can go over DWP again tomorrow, man, or just watch the live stream back. I highly encourage you to do that. Towards the end, we really hit on DWP. I'll fly through it, and then we're done, I'll fly through it just for you, Bo. So what DWP is an advisor for your digital assets. What we do is set you up with a tax advantage structure, either an LLC or a trust, which allows you to be able to use your digital assets in the most tax efficient way possible. It also gets your digital assets away from your personal name. So if anyone was to ever go against you legally, well, then your digital assets are removed from your personal self, and therefore it's going to be almost impossible for them to get those assets. On top of that, we custody with Ripple themselves or Medico to get you insurance on your digital assets, as well as get you multi-signature also to give you multi-signature, which makes it so that if one of your keys is compromised, no one can steal your assets. It's also custody done by some of the most professional, largest institutions out there that have significant protocols in place to protect those digital assets at a very high level. It's pretty much elevating the retail customer to Ripple's customers themselves, which are typically very, very high net worth businesses where, right, there's just higher protocols and higher security clearances in place. Last of all, we do advisory on top of all of that. So what we'll be able to do is work with you individually to make sure you are getting yield on those assets, being able to generate a return against them, being able to take loans against them. And the reason why this is also important is because ultimately so many different people, their strategy in place right now is to just liquidate all their assets, sell a whole bunch and incur massive capital gains taxes. What we're really looking to do is allow you to create long-term income on your assets, allow you to create generational wealth by not actually selling those assets, but producing income against them. And then what you're able to do is live the rest of your life without incurring taxes, without actually going through a situation where you have to liquidate your leverage. Hold on to your leverage, hold on to your assets, and create income against them. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And for now, Mikkel out.